Hi guys, and welcome to episode 18 of Auntie Danny Knits. This is not the episode that I thought it was going to be. Today is Sunday. Yes, Sunday, December 31st. It's the end of the year, and I'd wanted to do this big year-end wrap-up thing, but as you can tell, I'm not doing so well. We've spent the last probably 3 days being just sick around here, barely getting up, but I really wanted to podcast before the year was done, especially because I missed the last one. This time of year just gets kind of crazy with Christmas and all, and family stuff and work stuff and year-end stuff, but I wanted to make sure I podcasted. So without any further ado, let's talk about the things that I finished. So I finished a bunch of stuff and half of it isn't here, which is what happens when it's around Christmas time. But I believe I mentioned last time that my future mother-in-law and future father-in-law both asked for socks for Christmas, and they asked for them, Thanksgiving-ish. So Jim picked out yarn, and I got their socks knit, so I'm going to put in some pictures here. For both of them, I used Into the World yarn from my stash, and I'm going to make sure that I've got little taglines down at the bottom because I figured out how to do that now, because I don't remember off the top of my head which one was which, but they got done. They turned out nice. I haven't heard back yet whether or not they fit well. Hoping they did, but I used the Fish Lips Kiss pattern and got them both to trace their feet and do the whole thing. So hopefully they work and fit like gloves, or socks, I guess. I also finished my movie socks. So last you saw, they were one giant tube, and I contemplated pulling them out because I could still sort of tell where my gauge changed a little bit. But you know what? Socks are socks. And if I put them on my feet and I'm not comfortable with them, they're totally going to end up being a gift for my sister because her feet are slightly bigger than mine, just enough that if these are a teensy bit too big, they'll fit her perfectly. And so Karen, you may get a pair. Or they may fit me perfectly and you'll just have to wait and I'll make you something else. And that's okay too. And those were, the yarn was from Jinx Yarns, and it was her Velveteen. It was a limited edition colorway. I think it was part of a Little Skein in the Big Wool kit a while back. So I've had this for quite a bit, but I finished it up. So that's yay, yarn out of my stash and socks for my feet. I also finished my Advent stockings. So they're all in a baggie here. I'm not going to take them all out because there are 25 of them. And I showed you some last time, but they're just these teeny little stockings. And so yeah, I've made 25 of them. They're not huge, but they're not too teeny tiny. They're the perfect size to put a Canadian dollar coin in, or you can roll up a dollar bill and tuck it in. The idea being that these are going to go to my nieces. Last year I knit mittens, little tiny mittens, and sent those home so that they had little a mitten advent calendar, and I sent also a roll of quarters, so they got a quarter in their little glove each day. So yeah, next year they'll have mittens and stockings. So I need to come up with one more thing. I think I'm probably going to do like little bitty toques because there are 3 of them, so they all need something. But yeah, those are done. I couldn't even begin to tell you what most of those yarns were. A lot of them were from various mini skein swaps, but they're all fingering weight yarn in a variety of colors, and I will put in a picture here of the whole finished thing. So those are my finished Advent stockings. And the last thing I finished are these lovely little hand warmers. So they're just shorty ones because I wanted some, let's see if I can show you here, some that I could wear to work on a regular basis that would not get in the way of my watch, because sometimes that's a pain, because if they're too long they want to go over or they crunch up. So I made these ones nice and short, and yeah, I'm really, really pleased with them. The yarn came from my yarny godmother. I did the hashtag get your yarn wishes granted thing on Tumblr this year. I granted a couple of wishes, and then I had wished for some wintry or Christmassy yarn because I had none. And my lovely friend sent me this stuff. So I don't know what exactly it is. The base looks like sort of a standard 80/20 superwash merino nylon, or yeah, superwash merino nylon. It feels like a standard superwash merino nylon, but I don't know the brand or the colorway, but they're super cute. I really like them, and they go well with all of my scrubs for work, so yay. So that's what I finished. And now on to what I've been working on. I've really only had two big things that are not currently finished that I've been working on. So the first one, I'm trying to get it all sorted here, is my harvest cardigan. So I've been working on this for a while, but I have finished the body. So there you can see where I was last time. So I finished the body, and I've started on the first sleeve. So I'm excited about that. The yarn I'm using is Malabrigo Rios in the teal feather colorway. That's it. I love this color. I'd been eyeing it at the yarn shop for months before I finally broke down and bought it for this. I believe I'm on ball number 4, and I'm alternating skeins. I alternated the whole way through, and I'm alternating up the sleeve here. You can see a little bit of transition, but I think some of that is also just the blocking will get that, because I can feel a little bit of a ridge, and that just happens when you pick up stitches that have been on a holder for a couple months. And that is living in my Twist Fiber Studio animal camping bag. So I've been working on that off and on. Not a whole lot, because I'm trying to concentrate on the big one, which I'm sure you can guess what that is. I have also been working on the dress. So this is the dress so far, and actually you can see in the front here the section down at the bottom there that I steam blocked. And doesn't that just open up beautifully, guys? I love what this lace does when it opens up. So as I mentioned last time, I made a little mistake with reading the pattern, or not reading the pattern and just assuming that I'd read it. And I started off using a US 7 needle, but it actually called for a 7mm needle, which is substantially bigger. So I've done a little bit of math. I steam blocked that section to do the measuring. I posted my measurements on Instagram to confirm things, and I talked to my knit group to confirm things, and I'm going to do 2 extra repeats of the lace section before I progress with the pattern and it starts becoming more narrow. And I think that should be enough to make it the right length to fit nicely over the crinoline that I'm going to get. And we did determine that I can also add length in the body as well. Like I can have, instead of having because the skirt has lace up to a point and then it goes further up towards the waist. So I can have the skirt start the lacy part start further down if I need to compensate for where everything's going to end up. So I feel like I'm making good progress on that. I'm on my 5th ball of yarn, and I actually brought the whole thing up today so I can show you the yarn that I'm using. Sorry for the crinkling, some of it's still in bag. It is Cloudborne Fibers. It's the Superwash Merino Sport Twist. The color is 12-008. Nothing too fancy, but it's just their ecru colorway. And it's soft. It's kind of a skinny sport, but that's okay. It's machine wash, dry flat, pretty standard for superwash. But yeah, I'm making my way through that. So I'm on I'm on ball number 5. I've got another ball wound up because I wasn't sure where I was going to be, and I've got 4 skeins here. And because I was adding extra stitches and rows to the skirt, and I'd been using a smaller needle than it called for, and I was going to have enough for my size as written, but I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough with these modifications. I went ahead and ordered more, and I got the same dye lot, so I've got plenty of extra. And honestly, if I don't use it all, this stuff, it's part of their dyeables sets, so I'll be able to dye up some sport weight sock yarn, and that'll be great. So I've been working on this. I've got my little needle catcher here with a little sheepy ball. It's a Gelby. I don't know if it's called a needle keeper or what it's called, but it's got this nice little thing that keeps my needles together so nothing falls off of them. And this is a Christmas present from one of my knit night friends, Becky. So thanks, Becky. So yeah, I've been working on the dress quite a bit because I have less than 3 months. 3 months, man. I'm really excited about it. And I know it doesn't sound like it, but I'm kind of subdued in general right now because I'm all growly and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. So I have had a couple of opportunities to get more friends to knit on my dress, which is really wonderful. It makes me really happy to know that I've got so many people putting love into it. And I've actually had a couple of other friends say that, you know, it's too bad that they're not here to help put stitches on my dress because I'd really love to be involved in that in some way. And there's actually a way, if you want to be involved, that you can. I am going to have knit and crocheted and crafted flowers in my bouquet rather than live flowers, just because we're getting married in March and it's crazy pollen season to start with, and there's so many of us with allergies. We thought a whole bunch of extra flowers on top of everything might just, I don't want to be red and puffy-eyed and red-nosed from allergies for the wedding. So I'm going to have a bouquet that is baby's breath and blue handmade flowers, because I know that I don't react to baby's breath. So I've got some blue yarn that I sent home with my mom. So my mom and my sister are going to make some flowers, and my other bridesmaid is going to make some flowers for me. So if by chance you were out there and you wanted to find a way to do something for that, get in contact with me. I'd be happy to have anything like that you might want to do, but no pressure. Don't feel any need to do this. This is just because a couple of people have asked me. I gave them that option because I do want to be able to have as many people involved in my day as I can, especially because we're doing such a small wedding and not actually going to be able to have a lot of people physically here participating. So there's that. Okay, I've been good, and I didn't buy anything. I don't think I've bought any yarn this month, so that's good. But I do have some stuff left over still from Into the Wool to show you. So here are the last few yarny things. I got stuff from Holly and Ivy Dye Works. This is their Ivy sock in the color Writer's Block. I love this shade of blue. I may actually unskein a little bit of this and use it for some flowers in my bouquet. I also got from Holly and Ivy their Holly sock in the color Mississippi Storm, and I love these teals and grays, and it's happy colors for me. It's soft and it's happy colors for me. I also got, I believe this was in a goodie bag, Wild Happy Color in the Authentic Base in the color Botox Barbie. I love this. It's just the purples and pinks and blues, very much my thing. Yeah, I'm looking down at it all. I also got another goodie bag thing from Bugbear Woolens, their High Twist BFL. It's an 80/20 BFL nylon blend in the color Appetite. And again, this is very much my sort of colorways. And the last yarn that I have to share is from Rock and String. I love her self-striping stuff. This is her Super Sock. It's a 75/25 merino, superwash merino nylon, and this color is Campfire S'mores, and it's a self-striping. So I'm looking forward to knitting this up. I think I may end up waiting until, I guess after February, once Into the Wool sign-ups start, and I'm assuming they're probably going to do the spotlight knit along again, and I'm definitely going to knit these up to join in on that. So that is the end of the yarn that I got at Into the Wool. And I may have shown you some of those before, I don't remember. Yeah, my brain's kind of tired. But there's that. So I'm not going to get a chance to do this huge, big end-of-year wrap-up that I really wanted to, but I do keep a project tab on my Ravelry page, and everything I finish in a year, I tag with the year, so that at the end of the year, I can go to this tab and see everything that I finished that year, which is kind of nice. It's not everything I started that year, but it's everything that got finished. So I've got my notes over to the side here. At the end of 2017, and I don't think I'm going to finish anything tonight that'll change these numbers, but as of the end of 2017, I knit 25,831 yards of yarn. So that is a lot. It's less than last year. Last year was 28 something. But I've had some longer term projects, and I've just had life happen, and you know, some years you knit more, some years you don't. But that was in 55 different projects, and I think that's down a little bit from last year as well. I think I'm knitting longer term projects, so they probably use about as much yarn, but they take longer, like sweaters. Speaking of sweaters, I knit five sweaters this year. I didn't get to keep them all. One of them was for one of my coworkers to gift to her boyfriend. Another one of them I ended up giving to my mom because she liked it. So I only have 3 that I kept for myself, and 2 of them are short sleeve not tank top, but like shirt style sweaters, but they're still sweaters. So I have 5 sweaters. I knit 6 shawls. I knit over a dozen socks. That was a little bit hard to count because I've got, in my project page, you may notice, I've got the Star Wars sock saga, where I'm knitting through all of my Star Wars sock yarn from Mustache Yarns. And so some of it got knit this year and some of it got knit last year. Some of it's on the page already, some of it's not. It's going to be an ongoing thing. But anyway, I knit over a dozen pairs, if you include those ones that I finished. And I knit 115 hats because I knit 104 preemie hats for the Into the Wool this year. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that again for 2018. I would love to, but you know, I've got the whole wedding thing happening. So yeah, over the next couple of podcasts, you're going to notice the main chunk of my knitting time goes towards that wedding dress because, well, you know, there's a deadline. It really has to be done by the wedding so that I can wear it. It's not going to do me any good if I finish it the week after. So I'm really devoting as much of my knitting time as I can to that. But I'm still working on other things. I've got that harvest cardigan. I've got socks always on the go somewhere. One of Jim's cousins just had a baby, so I've got a couple of baby things that I'm going to make for him. 2 of my coworkers are pregnant, so they're going to be getting some baby things too. But yeah, it's really focusing on the dress right now. But that is that was my knitting for this year. I feel pretty good. That's a lot of yardage going out. I still had a lot come in, but I feel like I'm getting better about that. I try not to order anything online or go to my local yarn shop and just buy things without having a project in mind. I try to, during the majority of the year, shop with projects in mind, and then save my impulse, ooh pretty, I have to have this now, buying for the festivals that I go to. So Into the Wool is the big one for the last couple of years, and then this year I went to SAF. And so those are the times that I'll just fall in love with a single skein of sock yarn and say, nope, I'm just gonna buy it because I need it, it's mine. So, which is not to say I don't buy yarn year round, but I'm working more towards buying it with a purpose year round, and then saving the, oh my goodness, I just have to have it for specified shopping periods. Plus then I've got a limited budget and I don't go too crazy. And I'm just looking around, and yeah, it's a good thing that I don't go too crazy because I've got a lot of yarn in here. A lot of yarn. I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I missed the last episode. If I can get better, I don't think I'll have any problem making the next one, but we'll see. Cross my fingers. And that is all for today. All for this year. I hope you guys had a lovely 2017 and a safe and happy New Year's Eve. And I hope that 2018 is full of all the wonderful yarny things you could ever dream of. See you later, guys.